For my field trip, I decided to go to the Florida Aquarium in Tampa, which is quite a drive from my home here in Estero, but I didn't go alone, so I dragged my fiance with me, which was fun. For this presentation, I'm just going to go over some of the things we did. Really, I'm just going to show you step by step what we saw and did via pictures and some neato videos, so I hope you enjoy.
Hi, welcome to the Florida Aquarium. Let's get started.
That's me, Hannah Rose, and this is a picture of my receipt and my visitor's guide, which was super helpful. Once we got our bearings, we did go to all the exhibits and a couple of showings, which were pretty fun to watch. So what you'll be seeing here is just a cell phone's perspective of the aquarium and my silky voice narrating. But promise it gets better from here. I bet none of you have seen an alligator before, but surprisingly enough, they're actually indigenous to Florida, which I didn't know. It's a joke. The coral reefs were, the aquarium was actually broken up into a number of environments like wetlands, mangroves, coral reefs, bays, open ocean, ocean floors, etc. So it made it just super easy to kind of navigate around and see, what goes where. Penguin. You want to watch this area right here. And I don't know if you caught that, but it's a counter shading fish right here. I just barely caught it, but I thought it was awesome. I found throughout my entire experience, I started to notice different species and the way they camouflage themselves, whether through transparency, DSL, or counter shading. Each organism has its own way of surviving, which ideally is a given, but it was cool to see up close and personal. This one camouflages via Patrick Starr. I drew the pants on. Thought it was clever. One of the cool things we found was this cafe they had there, which is just an interactive bar that talked about the same things we did in Chapter 13, which is seafood, and how even though it is delicious and good for you, you need to be informed and aware of how and where it was raised. So it was just a cool correlation, I thought. And now just a quick pause for shark appreciation. There's a shark. The next number of slides are shots of coral reefs. They just reminded me of the first assignment we had, which was discussing or quantifying biodiversity. I got assigned mangrove ecosystems, and even though it seems they're very different, most of the diversity I had in my picture came from coral. And these pictures just don't do them justice. They're beautiful habitats, and all the kids there just were dying. They thought it was so neat, and it was, so I enjoyed that as well. One of my favorite exhibits was actually the seahorse and sea dragon exhibit. This is because I think I did my drawing on it, but what you may notice is what a lot of the seahorses cling on to, which is seagrass, and that's what I did my primary producer on. He's really small. Seagrass, or by its taxonomic name, is Zurista marina. It's found in sandy substrates or in estuaries. I know they're identical. You can't tell which one's the real one. Such an artist. They're found in sandy substrates or in estuaries or partially floating. They're exactly what they're called, seagrass. They're long, bright green leaves, about 1 centimeter wide, but their job is to give seahorses a place to hold on to and live, and to provide food for other living organisms. So, while I have you here, I'll show you my marine animal that I sketched, which is the leafy sea dragon. What's awesome about the leafy sea dragon is it's like the male seahorse is responsible for childbearing, so the men have the babies. What's cool about the sea dragon is that actually when it's ready to mate, their tails will turn bright yellow. And as far as survival goes, they use their ornate gossamer leaf-shaped appendages to cover their entire body as some of the neatest camouflage that I've ever seen. So to me, I just think they're incredible creatures, and that's why I chose them as my marine animal to sketch. Its taxonomic name is Phycoderus equus. I hope I pronounced that right. What I found so neat through the entire experience was it felt like I noticed a lot of the concepts we'd learned over the semester, like the effects commercial fishing and people have on the environment. And also, it was just very informative about the ways we can help take care of the environments we have left. I think I touched on it earlier, but when I mentioned being able to recognize the different ways organisms protect and defend themselves, and one of them being transparency, which I think jellyfish have down to a T. You could watch them for hours. Here we go. And this one we did for fun, so don't judge.
Hey Hannah, come look at the crabs. They're not real spiders. Hannah doesn't like spider crabs.
I do not, but they were still cool, and we enjoyed looking at them. They also had a Finding Nemo exhibit, which they didn't label it as that, but I think we all know the truth because you don't put those together by accident. What I'm going to show you next is just a video of me talking to one of the educators at the museum. Her name is Natalie Manuel, and she was just super awesome. She talked to me for like 30 minutes and said if I had any questions about anything to do with marine biology, just shoot her an email. But this is just a video of me asking the question, explain the consequence on the local marine environment since some of it has been destroyed and developed commercially. And you'll understand me asking the question because I butchered it, but I already said the question, so you know.
Consequences on the local marine environment that the Tampa Aquarium has, impacted has been developed here commercially. So absolutely. So the Port of Tampa has a number of different businesses that are here in the area, along with the Florida Aquarium. So the Florida Aquarium works with conservation to make sure that the area stays healthy and clean. One way that we can do that is with different partnerships that are in the area. One of them would be with Mosaic. Mosaic has done in the past a bit of dredging to allow their ships to come in. When that happens, well, there's a bit of destruction to the habitat. But in the other hand, when they dredge up all of that soil, they do create new habitat. There are at least 2 to 3 different bird sanctuaries that are in the area now because of their conservation work. So much of that land can then be used for good purposes. As long as they care what they're building and take care of it. Thank you so much. You're very welcome.
So I hope you caught some of that. And she was kind enough to sign my field trip verification form. So I appreciated that. The most significant concept this trip taught me was the consequences on the environment due to the fact of how big the industry of import and exports are here in Florida. I learned how the ships can ruin the environment near these ports, but I also learned that some of these companies are doing a big part to protect the environment as well, so they're trying to kind of give back to the community that they've torn down. This is a bait ball, and it was pretty cool. Kind of reminded me of when we talked about schooling. So, yeah. And I'm going to have to skip all these near the end because I'm running out of time. But this was just a collage of just fun facts and statistics that you probably wouldn't know offhand, but they had in this cool collage thing over a big wall. So it was neat. Finally, we have come to the end of our journey. I guess just to conclude, the aquarium did a really wonderful job of making you aware of just how amazing and infinite the ocean environment is. And it didn't change my perception on it because I've always kind of thought that, but it did help me realize that anybody can make a difference. It's just about getting out there and trying, and there's 2 is better than 1, so if you can get your friends or families to get involved too, ultimately we have to live in the mess we make, so it's it's better if you get some help to clean it up. So reduce, reuse, recycle, get informed, and get involved. And thank you.